What's up, all you Quantumaniacs? I'm DeQwan Young, and today we present the 10 biggest losers from the 2019 NFL Draft. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and make sure you hit the bell and turn on our notifications and join the notification squad. And don't forget to leave your video ideas down in the comments below. We'll give you a shout out in the video if we use it. So now that the 2019 NFL Draft is over and done with, we play the waiting game and see which of these picks will turn out to be franchise changers and which ones will go down as big-time disappointments. But we think we know which teams will look back with regret on how they handled this draft. On top of that, certain players can't be happy with how they fell so late, with some of them going to teams that will surely find a way to waste their talents. Number 10, DeQwan Thompson. The Alabama safety was projected to be a second-round pick by many, but his draft stock fell quite a bit. This is because of a reported degenerative knee condition. And so the ultra-talented Thompson didn't go until the 5th round, 139th overall to the Arizona Cardinals. He unquestionably deserved to go much earlier, but teams were obviously worried about this injury. He should be a good fit in Arizona, but he could have gone earlier into a legitimate championship contender. It's disappointing that teams were so skeptical about taking a player with this much talent. Number 9, the Atlanta Falcons. To be fair, the Falcons don't have too many roster flaws. If they stay relatively healthy in 2019, they should be a Super Bowl contender again. And with that being said, we're not that high on the picks they made. Now, the Falcons needed to rebuild their O-line a bit, but we're not sure if first-rounders Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry were the right selections. Andre Dillard, Greg Little, and Jawan Taylor are more polished and simply have higher upsides, so we kind of question these picks a bit. Atlanta only had 5 more picks the rest of the way. We did like the Kendall Sheffield pick at 111, but other than that, the Falcons didn't really stand out to us on draft day. They should have taken a better lineman with their first pick, then reached for a guy like Greedy Williams with their next selection. Number 8, defensive backs. This draft was always going to be heavy on linebackers and pass rushers, but nobody, and we mean nobody, could have predicted such dramatic falls for the talented defensive back prospects. This draft was loaded with great cornerbacks, but only one of them went in the first round, and that was DeAndre Baker to the Giants at 30. Byron Murphy, who fell to Arizona at 33, was also expected to be a first rounder. Trayvon Mullen and Greedy Williams went 40th and 46th respectively. Some thought they'd be mid-first round selections. Darnell Savage Jr. and Jonathan Abram were the 2 safeties that went in round 1. But other than that, there wasn't a huge demand for safeties after the second round. A large portion of these athletes fell by such wide margins compared to their pre-draft projections. And nobody could have predicted this at all, which is why we have to put the DBs as losers. But they'll have fun going out to prove everybody wrong. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We like the Devin White selection at number 5 overall, but otherwise the Buccaneers left a lot to be desired at the draft. Cornerback Sean Bunting was Tampa's next pick in round 2, but there were simply better players available. There has to be something wrong with Greedy Williams because a lot of teams passed on him. The Bucs doubled down at cornerback and took Auburn product Jamal Dean in the 3rd round. The Mike Edwards pick at 99 looks good, we'll give them that. Then the Bucs took Utah kicker Matt Gay in the 5th round. Why on earth would you draft a kicker? Like, why? Why? Now, we love the Bucs' idea of investing their picks on defense, but they didn't manage this well at all. There were better players to select in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, so we call this a series of missed opportunities. Number 6, wide receivers. So there weren't that many grade A or B wide receivers in this draft class, but how did the ones in there fall so hard? There were 3 to 5 guys that stood a good chance of going in the 1st round. Instead, Marquise Brown and N'Keal Harry were the only ones at 25 and 32 respectively. A.J. Brown fell to the Titans at 51, but he was widely projected to be a mid or late 1st rounder. Same for Paris Campbell and DK Metcalf, who went 59th and 64th respectively. Hakeem Butler also figured to be a 2nd round selection, but he fell to the Cardinals in the 4th round at the 103rd pick. The silver lining is that many of these wide receivers are joining good teams with quality quarterbacks, namely Campbell with the Colts and Metcalf with the Seahawks. But nobody ever likes to be drafted late. Think about all the draft day parties you throw for your friends on day 1, and you're out here getting picked on day 2 and day 3. Ew. Ooh, the ghetto. Number 5, the Houston Texans. The Texans were major losers in free agency. They lost to Honey Badger and Kareem Jackson, and they didn't fix a horrible secondary or brutal offensive line. And they had the chance to make it right at the draft, and they probably failed. They drafted Alabama State tackle Titus Howard with the 23rd pick, right after the Eagles traded up to select the more polished Andre Dillard at 22. Nothing against Howard, but there are just so many flaws in his game. Also, Jawan Taylor was there too, but Houston let him fall to the Jaguars at 35. We're not sure about the pick of Lonnie Johnson Jr. or Matt Sharpen either. Houston tried to address their weaknesses, but we just think they struck out on taking the best players that were available. After winning the AFC South in 2018, the Texans already look like a team that's bound to disappoint in 2019. Number 4, the Oakland Raiders. John Gruden came into this draft with 3 first-round picks, acquiring 2 of them in the Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper trades with Chicago and Dallas. But we just don't know if Gruden and Mike Mayock really did their best work here. The Raiders went off the board and took Clemson defensive end Cleveland Farrell with the number 4 selection. Everybody praises Farrell's personality and leadership skills, and Gruden loves his character plays. But we just think that Gruden probably should have picked Josh Allen, Ed Oliver, or Devin Bush. All of those guys would have been safer picks than Farrell. Many had the Raiders taking Alabama running back Josh Jacobs with the number 24 pick. Sure, he's flashy and should add another element to the offense, but you know how easy it is to find a good running back, right? Taking safety Jonathan Abram at 27 wasn't a horrible move, but like the Farrell pick, we just think Oakland needed to take a player with more upside. This is a lengthy rebuild in Oakland, and it'll take a while until we find out if Gruden and Mayock won the 2019 draft. But we think they could have done so much better with those first rounds. Number 3, veteran quarterbacks. A handful of veteran signal callers were probably quite disappointed by the time the draft weekend ended. The New York Giants drafted Daniel Jones at number 6 overall. That means the team is finally getting ready to move on from veteran Eli Manning. The 2-time Super Bowl champion is finally on a short leash, and if he struggles at any point in 2019, he might not play for the Giants again. Actually, I think Gettleman is dumb enough to just keep throwing Eli out there. The Denver Broncos acquired Joe Flacco from the Baltimore Ravens in the offseason. Flacco will also be on a short leash, however. Denver took Missouri quarterback Drew Lock with the number 42 selection. And if Flacco can't keep it together, his time in the Mile High City will be oh so brief. The pressure is on. The Washington Redskins took Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins at number 15 overall. Case Keenum will probably have a lot of competition for that starting job. And Washington won't waste any time putting Haskins in if the veterans don't hold down the fort. The Carolina Panthers took West Virginia quarterback Will Grier in the 3rd round. And this was probably for insurance since Cam Newton is still dealing with a bad shoulder. And the Patriots took Auburn quarterback Jarrett Stidham in the 4th round. So I guess Tom Brady's on his way out. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs were already a major loser following the release of a disturbing audio during which Tyreek Hill presumably admits to abusing his 3-year-old son while threatening his fiancée as well. I mean, even if you put that aside, it's hard to think that the 2018 AFC runner-ups got better. The Chiefs surrendered their 1st and 3rd rounders plus a 2020 2nd-round pick to get past rusher Frank Clark and Seattle's 3rd round pick. The price was too much for Clark in our opinion, and the Chiefs were left without a 1st-round pick to fix either their offensive line or a leaky secondary. We're unsure about the Mecole Hardman selection, and his disturbing social media history doesn't help his cause one bit. The Chiefs organization looks bad once again. The Clark trade was questionable, and the Chiefs simply depleted their chances of drafting any studs. They probably should have just kept Dee Ford and retained all those picks they gave Seattle. But it's hard seeing how this team got better. The silver lining is they still have Patrick Mahomes. So, number 1, the New York Giants. Now, there are plenty of reasons why the G-Men have been one of football's worst teams since Super Bowl 46. But the main reason is their drafting. Think about it. Odell Beckham Jr. and Landon Collins are practically the only early round picks they've hit on since 2012. And both are playing elsewhere. Dave Gettleman was armed with the number 6 and 17 selections, with the latter coming from the Cleveland Browns in the Odell Beckham Jr. trade. The Giants botched this one as usual. Gettleman selected Duke quarterback Daniel Jones with the number 6 selection, even though he was projected to be a late 1st round or early mid to 2nd round selection. Gettleman could have taken Dwayne Haskins. He was right there for the taking. He could have easily traded down to get Jones later. The teams that picked 7 to 14 didn't need a quarterback. The Giants could have taken so many can't-miss prospects like Ed Oliver or Josh Allen, but nope, they settled on Daniel Jones. We also didn't like the Dexter Lawrence pick at 17. Too many better players available like Noah Fant, Jeffrey Simmons, Garrett Bradbury, or even Greedy Williams. We do like the DeAndre Baker pick at number 30, but none of New York's subsequent picks really stood out. So instead of moving forward in their rebuild, the Giants really took a step back, and that's why they're the biggest loser in the 2019 NFL Draft. Who do you think was the biggest loser of the 2019 Draft? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and we truly appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.